You don't need to run away, cause other people already aware. You don't need to be afraid of what they say, cause I know you can. Remember when you started to open, you don't have to close them today. You don't need to be afraid.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Layla. In case you're new here, please subscribe. And if you are my returning subscriber, thank you very much for keeping around. I do not take your support for granted. So for today's video, I'm going to be answering the questions that you guys have been asking me the most here on YouTube as well as on TikTok. So just so you know, these questions are specifically about nursing and Ausbildung here in Germany. So I'm going to be reading the questions from here. This is my phone, specifically because I do not have the questions in my head. So do not wonder if you see me looking down. So question number one, someone wrote to me and asked me, how did I end up becoming a nurse in Germany? So this is what I'm going to be answering. At the beginning, I did FSJ. So I came to Germany with an FSJ contract. So after that 1 year of FSJ, I was asked by my boss to do the Ausbildung because they did not want me to go, So they asked me and they needed people. So they asked me if I was interested in doing the Ausbildung. And then I was like, yes, why not? Because I did not have any plans of also going back to my home country, or I did not also have any plans of doing any other Ausbildung. So I accepted and she gave me the contract, and also she gave me the contacts to the school where I was supposed to go. So what I had to do was to just contact the school and let them know that I have got a contract from this Altisheim and that they want me to register in the school too. So the school asked me to write a small application, which I sent. And then after the next day, they called me and they told me I have an appointment with them and I should go there to have a Vorstellungsgespräch. Vorstellungsgespräch is when you sit down with a person one-on-one and then they interview a little bit, The level of German that I had wasn't good, but still they did not ask me a lot of difficult questions, So I went there and they asked me what's the reason why I want to do the Ausbildung. And I said I like working with people. And also I said I have been doing FSJ in the Altersheim und es hat mir Spaß gemacht. Like it was fun for me, So they told me, yes, you have gotten the place and you can start the Ausbildung in October. And that's how I ended up being a nurse in Germany. So back then there was a difference of being an Altenpflege and a Krankenschwester. But right now the Ausbildung is generalized. You guys are all sitting in one class, be it Altenpflegefachkraft, be it Krankenschwester. And then after the Ausbildung, you will then decide if you want to work in the Altersheim or you want to work in the hospital. I have explained a little bit more, but I hope I've answered that question. So let's go to question number 2. So question number 2, someone is like, hey Val, kindly guide me on how I can start the German journey as a nurse. So this person is a nurse and would like to come to Germany as a nurse. So this is what I'm going to advise you. If you have a certificate, diploma, or you have a degree in nursing in your home country, there is a possibility that you can start working in Germany as a nurse, but it will depend on the Anerkennung. Some people will get half Anerkennung and others will get full Anerkennung. Most times people who are like from Asian countries like Indonesia or also India, those people are fully anerkannt and they can start working as nurses in Germany. But if you are coming from Africa and you have a certificate, it will depend on how many years you have been studying for this certificate, because here in Germany we study 3 years. So if you have studied only 1.5 years in your home country for this certificate, the certificate is not going to be fully anerkannt, fully recognized. So that means you will have a deficit and they might need you to do eine Anpassungslehrgang. So this is what I would advise someone with a certificate. If you have a certificate of nursing and you're from Africa, and you know that you have studied for less than 3 years, I would advise you to just apply for an Ausbildung and use your certificate as a catalyst to make your motivation letter and also your CV more attractive, because you have a deficit. But then if you have a degree, a bachelor, then your chances are a little bit higher, because I believe a degree you study longer than a certificate, and a person with a bachelor is also studying longer than a person with a degree. So if you have a bachelor in nursing, your chances are really high of getting a full recognition, and if not, maybe a half recognition. And then you also just be required to sit 6 months in the school, do the Anpassungslehrgang, and then after you get a full recognition. So if you have a bachelor's degree or a degree in nursing and you have studied for more than 2 years for nursing, I would say yes, you can apply for the nursing job. directly. But if you have a certificate, you should do the Ausbildung. And how you can apply for the nursing job is you will have to write a motivation letter, you will have to write a CV, and also you have to study the B2 German language. And then after, you can apply to the hospitals. How you can find the hospitals, it's on indeed.com on internet. You just put in indeed.com Germany, and then you will get a lot of job opportunities for nurses there, and then you can choose which one to apply to. And then when they find your motivation letter and your CV attractive, they will ask you to do the Anerkennung so that they can give you a placement. But then ask them to give you a provision letter to confirm that they have promised you a placement after you finish the Anerkennung. And then if they give you that provision letter, you will go and apply for the Anerkennung. Anerkennung, you will apply for it at the Regierungspräsidium. At the Regierungspräsidium, the Anerkennung, the type of Anerkennung you want is called Berufsqualifizierung Anerkennung. So I hope I have also answered that question. So let's go to the next one. So the third question is, someone was asking me, does one need to study the German language to work as a nurse here in Germany? The thing is, yes, you need the German language to work as a nurse here in Germany, because there is no way you're going to use English. People here in Germany do not know English, and the only language you can use to communicate with your patients is German. So that's why it's very important, if you are applying for a nursing vacancy, you have to have the language, and the language level that they need is B2. Now, how long does it take for someone to study the B2 language? I think you can even get your B2 certificate in less than 5 months if you are a person who grasps languages quickly. Now, I would also want to let you guys know that the A1 certificate and the A2 certificate are really not important. If you sit in the class of A1 and A2, you can just skip doing an international certificate and go to B1, okay? Because at the end of the day, if you are applying for nursing Ausbildung or a nursing vacancy here, they're not going to ask you for A1, A2, or B1. They just want to see your B2 certificate. They don't want to see what other classes you sat. They only want to see your B2 certificate, and that's it. So if you can save money on that, then I would say you should do like that. Okay, the next question is, someone asked me, please can you tell me what the Aufgabe, like the duties of someone working in the intensive care ambulant are, and also can someone with no experience from Ausbildung join intensive care ambulant? So let's answer the question. First of all, the Aufgabe. So first of all, they want to know which duties we do in the intensive care ambulant. So mainly what you are going to be doing is the Grundpflege, like the washing, the Körperpflege, like helping the patient to wash themselves, okay, because they cannot do that by themselves. And then the other thing you're going to do is to measure and control the vital signs, because most of the patients in the ambulant care have respiratory disorders. So we have to measure their oxygen levels and also the vital signs in general. Most of them will also have like ventilation machines, so you will have to monitor them and make sure that they are in order and they are functioning. And then the other thing we do is to change the tracheostomy. And the other thing that we do is to manage the secretion. So you have to do the Absaugen, like you have to do suction. So I would say the duties that we do are really not difficult. You can learn them in just 2 weeks if you are already a person with Ausbildung. And I would say if you are tired of working in a care home, I would really recommend, because in the home intensive care, you have your peace, you know. First of all, you are working alone and you do not have colleagues that are annoying you left and right. And also you don't have bosses that are going to be controlling you. You are actually your own boss there. And then the other thing is you are going to be paid very well, because in that intensive care ambulant, the payment starts from 4,000 euros. So the next question, someone is asking, what does one need before applying for the Ausbildung? What you need for the Ausbildung is your high school certificate and a B2 German language certificate, and that's it. So if you have a B2 German language certificate and you have your high school certificate, you can apply for the Ausbildung. So those are the only things that you need to apply for the Ausbildung. And of course, during the process of applying for the Ausbildung, they will ask you to do the Anerkennung. But the basic things that you need are 2 B2 German language certificate and your high school certificate. Last question is, someone asked me, what's the best way to learn German? According to me, the best way to learn German is to start speaking German. You can learn any grammar, but if you are not practicing, it's flying away from your head, okay? Find a person who is also learning German make a group and start speaking German. Like start speaking, exercise speaking. Through speaking, you're going to be exercising how to build sentences, and also you're going to be improving your confidence. And if you don't have anyone to speak German to, just make recordings of yourself speaking. Find a topic and record yourself talking about that topic. So guys, that marks the end of this video. I hope it was helpful, and I hope I have answered most of the important questions. If you have any questions that you would like me to answer, please comment them down below. I really enjoy answering your questions. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, you should subscribe, because I post very interesting videos here, and I promise you will not regret. Until next time, bye. I have a question, yeah? When you are looking for a job here in Germany, yeah, which app would you recommend? Like, if someone is looking for a job here in Germany, which app would you recommend? Like, which apps do you usually use or link?
I would say Indeed is better. For me, Indeed.com is much better because
Yeah.
it is more international. So people can apply it even when you are in rural areas. You can still have access of different jobs. So yeah.